Hey there everyone, Chris Strom from ClearPivot here, and I want to talk a little bit about a new thing out there in the world now. It's called Apple Maps Connect. You probably hadn't heard of it yet. It's being kept pretty low key at the moment, but what is it? Let's talk a little bit about that. So if you're on your iPhone, your iPad, maybe your Mac, and you're searching for, you're looking for directions or looking for a restaurant or whatever, you open up Apple Maps, you search for something. A lot of the information you'll see in there in the map is actually not coming at the moment. It's not coming from Apple. It's coming from a lot of third-party sources, Yelp most primarily, but there's other sources too, maybe City Search, maybe Localese, maybe things like that. It's not all Apple-generated data, which is kind of in contrast to Google Maps, for instance. Google's built up their own internal database that's powering their maps now. And if you're a local business, you probably have a Google profile with your Google Maps listing set up in there. In fact, you should if you want to be found by people. Apple's not quite there yet, but this Apple Maps Connect tool seems to be their way of quietly starting to build out their own database so that they don't have to rely on third-party sources in the future. So if you're a local business, it's probably maybe 1 year, maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years out. You're going to need to have a profile set up in Apple Maps Connect if you want to be found by people when they're searching on their iPhones, iPads, Macs, whatever. Just as you need every local business needs a Google profile now, in the future, probably every business, every local retail business is going to need an Apple Maps Connect profile if they want to be found. So good news is if you don't have a profile, they're not using it extensively yet. It doesn't seem. So now's your chance to get ahead of the game, get it set up, and be ready for when Apple starts drawing on their own internal database more to get your business found by people. So because it's going to be so important in the future, let's take a couple minutes now and look how to set up a profile on there and be ready for when that switch comes. All right, so let's look at how to get your business listed on Apple Maps Connect. So you'll go to mapsconnect.apple.com, mapsconnect.apple.com, or of course you can just Google Apple Maps Connect and you can find it that way. First thing you'll get is the login screen, and you'll just log in with an Apple ID. You can use your personal Apple ID if you want. I generally recommend that you set up a second Apple ID for your business that's separate from your personal one. But in any case, you can use whichever one you want, and then you'll log in. So I'll log in with my business ID here. And first thing you'll see here is a listing for small businesses, and you can click View My Business. You can see if there's any business profiles listed under your Apple ID already. You can see this is our business profile, ClearPivot, right here, with some of the typical stuff you would see in here, company name and so on. If your business is not yet listed in the account, what you'll do is you'll go up to this top right button here and click Add. So say you run a coffee shop business, for instance. First you have to see if Apple does have a record of the business anywhere. So we'll do a search. We'll say coffee in Denver. Search for that. Apple searches their Maps Connect database to see all of the existing coffee shops in the city of Denver they have listed. If your business is already in here, you can just click on it, and then Apple will let you edit the details of it. We'll claim it and then edit the details of it. If you look through the whole list and none of it's your business, you can go down here and click Add New Business. So I'll click Add New Business, and we'll start filling this out. What is your relationship to the business? I'll say business owner. I'll just make up a fake business. We'll say Chris's Coffee. Put in the phone number. So I'll put in my number. Is Apple Pay accepted? Yes or no? I'll just say yes. I'll say I don't want Apple Pay decals right now. I'll get them later. And next step is to put in a business address. So I'll put that in, then I'll click continue. And then Apple checks their map database, looks for some more details on it. I'll say, okay, yeah, that all looks fine. Click continue again. It gives you the option to verify your phone number, and it does it just by giving you a call, and they'll give you a PIN number on the phone call that you then enter on the website. I'm not actually going to verify mine right now because this is just a sample business anyways. So I'll click verify later. Next step is Apple will try to place your business in their maps based on the address you entered. And this gives you a chance to double check it to make sure it's the right physical area. So say, you can move it around, say it's off a little bit, business is over here. I'll just drag the pin over there and I'll say, okay, that looks good. Click continue. Next step is business category, what type of business you're in. So let's see, we'll go with food here. And then it'll give me a subcategory from here. And I'll choose the coffee and tea subcategory for food. And if you want, you can add additional categories as well. Maybe I'll say, maybe our coffee shop has a little art gallery in it. So I'll go in here, add a second gallery, or a second category, arts and entertainment, art galleries. And I'll say, okay, that all looks good. Click continue. And next we come here and we can set our hours. So we'll say closed on Sunday, Monday through Friday, we'll say 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you want to add in like morning hours, closed at lunchtime, and afternoon hours, you can do that. Maybe on Thursdays, maybe we close for lunch for whatever reason. So we'll do Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. closed until 1, and then 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. from there. And then say on Saturday we stay open late, stay open till 10. All right, so we set our hours on here, then we'll click continue. In here you can come in and put in more details, website, Yelp, some social media stuff, and so on. And then once that's all good, you click continue, and then it'll bring you to the profile you just set up. And you get this little notification that says profile not submitted. This basically says Apple hasn't approved it yet. So you look through here, you can say, okay, this all looks good. And if it all looks good, you can submit it to Apple. I'm not going to submit it to Apple right now because it's not an actual business, of course. But if you did submit it to Apple, you would submit it and then you basically wait for them to approve it. Sometimes it can be really quick, maybe just a couple hours. Sometimes it can take longer. It might take a couple days. But then after you've submitted it and it's been approved and everything, then if you go back to My Businesses here, you'll see it show up in the list here. So this is our ClearPivot business that I've already set up. And you can see I've submitted it to Apple and I have this little notification that says published on November 2nd, 2015. And so everything's good to go. And then if things change with your business later on, change your hours, change your website or whatever, you can come back in later and update it from here. And that's how you do it. So let us know in the comments if you guys have any questions, and otherwise, happy Apple Maps setup.